Hey, what's up, peeps? It's your boy PC Williams coming to y'all live again. I know it's not Monday. Supposed to went live yesterday, man, but I had something come up very important yesterday, man. But I'm here now. I know y'all been waiting on me. Wondering what I'm gonna say about the demise of my two loved ones. Lord Jesus. But the show must go on, man. But hey, it's still Roll Tide. It's still Cowboy Nation for all y'all haters, man. I got something special for all y'all today, man. But anyways, got an NFL playoffs recap going on here. And I'll give you my opinion about what I think about the Cowboys season. If I think it was a success or a failure, what our biggest problems is going forward. Kyler Murray going to the NFL draft. I'm a little iffy on that, but hey, I see what the young man's doing. Get your money, bro. And of course, I will address the state of Alabama. I will let y'all know what I think about the beatdown from Clemson, how I feel about Nick Saban, how I feel about all that. But in the meantime, between time, man, this is 1K Sports, uncut, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic, and I forgot my wedding ring, so let me go and get that real quick. Yeah, I might need this. But anyways, man, as you all know, the NFL playoffs are pretty much down to the Final Four. We got the Chiefs against the Patriots. We got the Saints against the Rams. And we'll start with the divisional round that happened this past weekend. Well, the Colts, the magic finally ran out. The Colts, they was hot all season. They were got on the hot little run there. Won like 8 of the last 9 games. Went to KC. Well, went to Houston, won that playoff game, and they went to Kansas City and just got beat down by a good team, man. But really watching that game, man, I saw a few things. And it's funny how in the playoffs, your biggest weakness during the regular season becomes your biggest strength in the playoffs. Everybody knows that KC's defense has been real bad all year, but they really showed up, holding Andrew Luck in their offense of 13 points, shutting down the run. I mean, wow. They look pretty good. So the Chiefs defense showed up immensely, man. But the offense, to me, show a lot of versatility. You think about the Kansas City Chiefs, think about Pat Mahomes and, the aerial assault with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But I feel like the offense showed versatility. They could run the ball. Travis Kelce is dangerous in any weather. He still had 7, what did he have? 7 for 108 in the game. So he's dangerous despite where you're playing at. Tyreek Hill still got off with about 130 yards total between running and catching the ball. And like I said, the defense showed up, man. So I think KC, as far as from watching them play all year and playing in this game, I think this was by far their most complete game, in terms of the offense finding a way to win, to score points despite the weather, and the defense showing up playing big-time football. So they got the Patriots next weekend, man. I'll get to that in a second, but as far as the Colts, man, I think that they got a bright future, man. They got the best. I think they have the best O-line in football right now. They got the hottest, they got the best rookie defender in the league right now. The defense is getting better. They got plenty of cap room. Word is Le'Veon Bell would love to play there. Frank White has got that team playing great, man. So I think the future is very bright for the Colts, man. I think they'll be fine. This season started kind of rough for them, 1-5 start. But they fought back, made the playoffs, man. So hats off to them. But I just think that they ran into a better team. The Chiefs were a better team, more explosive on offense, and the defense showed up, man. So much love to them. But the Patriots are back in the AFC Championship game again. Tom Brady and the Patriots took out the Chargers. To me, the Patriots were very balanced on offense, and the defense stepped up against a very explosive Chargers offense. But my thoughts on that game, man, I feel like, the Patriots played great. Tom Brady was his usual self, 34 of 44, 343, had a touchdown pass. Had Sony Michel, 24 carries, 129, 3 touchdowns. Edelman had 9 for 108, so a very balanced attack. But me personally, man, I just think the LA Chargers came out there and quit. They came out there and laid down. Very disappointing season, if you ask me. You know, because if you ask me personally to a man, the Chargers had the best roster in football. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback. You have a Pro Bowl running back. You got a Pro Bowl receiver. You got two young studs at receiver and Mike Williams and Terrell Williams. Your O-line is solid. You got Ingram and Bosa, probably two top 10 defensive players, you know, definitely top 5 at their own position. You have Derwin James, who should be Rookie of the Year, you know, if not for Darius Leonard. And you have Casey Hayward, a top 5 corner. So you have a loaded roster. You go out there and you get spanked by an old-ass, slow-ass Patriots team. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, that's Tom Brady. No. All year long, the Patriots have been slow and old. And all year long, the Chargers have been young and fast. And on this day in Foxborough, they got embarrassed. I picked the LA Chargers to win the AFC, you know, after seeing their playoff game against the Ravens. So, you know what? They're a very talented team. They're low-key on the radar, but they got smoked by the Patriots, man. It was embarrassing. But, hey, it happens. The Patriots are a damn good team. So that brings me to my AFC Championship game this Sunday. You got the Patriots going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. And I got the Chiefs winning that game 38-28. I just feel like the Chiefs right now, they're just dangerous. And that offense, even with the defense having a bad day, that offense can still score at will whenever they want to. You got Pat Mahomes going to be MVP. They don't have Kareem Hunt. We'll see if that comes back to bite them somewhere along the line. But Damian Williams is doing his thing, you know, and I don't know. I was in the barber shop with my barber the other day, yesterday, and before I said this, I didn't want to sound ridiculous, but I really thought about it and did some research. I don't think I've ever seen a more explosive receiver and tight end duo than I see with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I just don't. I've went back in time. I mean, the closest thing I can think of is Kellen Winslow and Charlie Joyner, you know, and the crew. That's the closest thing to it. But other than that, I mean, you think about all the great receivers, they had okay tight ends. Think about all the great tight ends had okay receivers. You know, so Jerry Rice had Dwight Clark, but Dwight Clark ain't better than Travis Kelce. You know, Shannon Sharp had Ed McCaffrey, but Ed McCaffrey is not better than, you know, Tyreek Hill. So I think going down in NFL history, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce will end up being the most explosive, dynamic tight end receiver duo we ever seen, man. Because you got Kelce, who's a matchup nightmare, and if you lead Tyreek Hill one-on-one, God bless you. So they're very explosive, those two guys. And if that defense can hold teams to about 20, 25 points, I mean, they could steamroll their way through this playoffs, man, because they are that loaded. And you got Andy Reid, who's an offensive genius, a legendary offensive genius, calling the shots, man. So everything's going great. So with all due respect to the Patriots and all my Boston lovers out there, man, go Red Sox. I just think the Chiefs are just a little too young, too explosive, and they have the game at home. They almost beat New England in New England, you know, so that was a close game. But I feel like here, Arrowhead Stadium, AFC Championship game, they haven't been to a Super Bowl in Lord knows how many years. This is their time right here, right now, to pull it off. So I'm taking the Chiefs over the Patriots this Sunday, 38-28. Well, on to the NFC. We had the Saints and Eagles going down Sunday. I thought it was a very sluggish performance by the Saints, man. You know, a lot of people thought they would come out and just be explosive. Even myself, I thought they'd come out here and just run Philadelphia, you know, off the field, man. But they very sluggish, man. Eagles show a lot of heart. I know they got a lot of injuries, man. Carson Wentz being out, a lot of different injuries in the secondary, man. But no one cares. You know, me personally, I don't care because Philadelphia won a championship last year with these same guys being hurt. So I don't feel I don't feel sorry for them at all. I really don't, you know. So, but overall, they did show heart. But I think the Eagles have a very, very big problem. Are they really sure Carson Wentz is the guy? I mean, let's think about it. Let's take away the first 13 games of last year when everyone said he'd be the MVP. Rookie season and this season up until he got hurt. His rookie season losing record. This year, before he got hurt, they were going to miss the playoffs. So my question is, Clearly, Carson Wentz is more talented than Nick Foles. But are you sure Carson Wentz is the answer long term? He may not be. Me personally, I think the injuries, you got a torn ACL, a torn MCL, and you have a break in your back, and you want to be in the league 3 years. I don't know, man. Like, a blown out knee, you've already had back surgery, and that's 3 years in. You're only going to get older. You don't get younger, you get older in the NFL. And you get older very fast. So I'm not sure if Carson Wentz is the guy for Philadelphia, but they're all in on him. And I think Nick Foles will be the most sought-after free agent this season, man. We'll see. Maybe the Jaguars go get him, but right now, I think the Philadelphia Eagles might want to think about this, man, because Carson Wentz just may not be the guy. And not saying he's not good, but for some reason, this team balls out when he's not there. Nick Foles knows how to make the guys around him better. He makes Alshon better. He makes Nelson Aguilar better. He makes Golden Tate better. Everyone is better when Nick Foles is there. So I'm not going to say that Nick Foles should be their franchise quarterback. Me personally, I don't care as a Cowboy fan. I hope Wentz is the answer because the guy can't stay healthy, and you trade Nick Foles, you got no backup. So, but I think the Eagles should be very cautious of that and really ask themselves, is Carson Wentz the long-term solution to our problems? But I think the Saints, they showed something in that game that I thought was very disturbing. I think that they're very dependent on Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas is a bad boy. He's a top 5 receiver or top 10, wherever you want to put him at, and Drew Brees is Drew Brees. But I think the Saints offense they've always been explosive, but they've been explosive because they got so many ways they can go with you. Back in the heyday, you had Colston, Meacham, Lance Thomas. You had Reggie Bush and Pierre Thomas in the backfield. You had Jeremy Shockey at tight end. So you had weapons all over the place. Now you just got Michael Thomas. It's just Michael Thomas out there. Now you have a two-headed monster and running back with Ingram and Kamara. That's the X factor. But I just think getting points, getting the ball down the field, they're a little too dependent on Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. Really good teams, really good defenses will take away Michael Thomas and force Drew Brees to throw to these other no-name guys. So the Saints, from an offensive standpoint, I don't believe the Saints are as explosive as they once were in terms of being deep. Like, they're not deep how they once were. They can still get 40 on you, but they're very dependent on Drew Brees getting the ball to Michael Thomas. What if Michael Thomas gets double-teamed? Who's the next guy? Kamara? What if they play a zone on him? What if they shut down Kamara? They're just too dependent on getting the ball to Michael Thomas and relying on Kamara to make a play here and there. Now, the game they won 2014, Philadelphia had a 14-point lead. Philadelphia was actually driving down the field to win the game when Alshon dropped the pass and they picked it up by Marshawn Lattimore. So the Saints could have really lost that game. So that takes me to the next game. Oh, Lord Jesus. The LA Rams ended my Cowboys season. It was hard to watch, man. But hey, I stuck in there, man. Cowboys for life, man. But I'll get down to the game because it seems like nobody ever just gives the Cowboys a fair assessment of a game. It's always that they win or lose. Oh, they lost, they suck. Oh, they won, wait next time. Oh, whatever. So what? So, hey, plain and simple, the Rams were the better team. The LA Rams were the better team. I mean, for crying out loud, they're a 13-win juggernaut team. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. They're my Super Bowl pick in the preseason. I had no idea my Cowboys would even make the playoffs this year. So I feel like, yes, the Cowboys lost. They lost to a great team. The Rams are a great team. They were a great team that came in motivated. Yes, their run defense was horrible all year long, but you can't bank on that in the playoffs. See, in the playoffs, your biggest weakness becomes your biggest strength because you understand, really good teams understand what we're not good at, what we can't do very well. We got to fix that going into the playoffs. So, yeah, their run defense was bad all year long. But when you have guys like Sue and Aaron Donald, and you have that kind of squad, a bunch of highly paid guys, bunch of high, strong veteran guys, they're going to be motivated. And I feel like the Rams were motivated by the media and, you know, fake Cowboy fans who want to jump on the bandwagon and start saying, man, the Cowboys are so rough and tough, they're going to run through the LA Rams. And we could have. We didn't. But I think the Rams were a lot more motivated to come out there and say the hell, oh, over our dead body. And that's how they play, over our dead body. We're not finna give y'all the satisfaction of losing to the Cowboys, and y'all get to call us a disappointment. So they came in very motivated. They were the better team. Plain and simple, the Rams were the better team from top to bottom. I was very surprised by the Cowboys' run defense. They've been stout all year. I mean, only 3 running backs got 70 or more yards on them. So I was very surprised with what I saw. But the word was that the St. Louis offensive line knew what they were doing stunt-wise, so it was a little easy to block them. I think it was part of that, but I just also think that we got ran on. And me being a former offensive lineman, I know when I'm watching the game and somebody's beating somebody's ass. We got an ass kick up front. Their O-line pushed around our defensive line. There's no other way around it. There's no nice way to say it. Their O-line pushed around our D-line. Their D-line pushed around our O-line. That's how we lost. You will lose a game. I don't care what you have on the outside. I don't care what you can do. When the other team's offensive line is beating down your defensive line, then your linebackers become irrelevant. Jalen Smith and Vander Esch became irrelevant because their defensive tackles are getting pushed back in their face. So when your O-line and your D-line are losing the battle up front, it limits everything you do elsewhere. Explosive offenses start with a great offensive line because you need time. You need time to let these big plays develop. You need an offensive line that can block, that can pass block, run block, make adjustments. So just as well, every explosive offense has a great offensive line. Every great explosive offense you ever seen in NFL history, the O-line was top 3 in the league at the time of their dominance. And the Rams have a great offensive line. Andrew Whitworth, Mike Sullivan, those guys, they put a hell of a game. I can't take away from them. They showed up, man. But like I said, the Rams were motivated, and I think the Rams will win the NFC Championship. I did pick the Rams to win a Super Bowl. They beat my Cowboys, so I feel like, hey, if we lose, man, we lost to the Super Bowl champions. Now, I would not be upset if the Saints beat the Rams. I would not be upset, but this is 1K Sports. I did pick the Rams to go to and win the Super Bowl, so guess what? I gotta stick with my pick. I gotta stick by that, but I would not be upset if the Saints got revenge from my Cowboys, but either way, I don't care. But on to the state of Cowboy Nation. My real Cowboys fans, I got y'all back, man. I really do. I got y'all back. I'm not going to let these sorry-ass, naive, delusional Cowboy haters drag us down. I got y'all back, all right? We'll start with this. First and foremost, Cowboy Nation, chill out. Dak Prescott is not the problem. Yes, I get it. Dak misses throws. He turns the ball over when he gets sacked sometimes. Dak Prescott doesn't always do the right thing. He can frustrate you and all this, that, and other, yada, 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 blase, blase. Dak Prescott is not the problem. At the end of the day, our quarterback is a 4th-round pick. A 4th-round pick that has won his division 2 out of 3 years. Our quarterback has the 2nd most wins in the NFL over the last 3 years. Second only to Tom Brady. Our quarterback has the most primetime wins over the last 3 years. Our quarterback has the most game-winning drives over the last 3 years. So what does that tell me about Dak Prescott, our quarterback? No, he's not putting up big numbers. No, he's not launching aerial assaults. No, he ain't got 2,000-yard receivers. No, he's not passing for 4,000 yards. No, but he's a winner. He's a winner. When it's time to win the game, one drive to win me a game. Over the last 3 years, the numbers say Dak Prescott is your man. What were the Cowboys on Saturday night? 1 possession away from tying that game. Dak Prescott was not the reason the Cowboys lost that game. The Cowboys lost because the defense got ran over. The defense was on the field half of the game, and that destroys what the Cowboys do offensively. They are a ground and pound, wear you down, run the clock out offense. Once the Cowboys defense couldn't stop nobody, all of a sudden the whole game plan changes. I also feel like this. Coaching is the problem. Because the thing is, we're so quick to blame Dak Prescott. But Dez Bryant already said it. Scott Linehan is a horrible offensive coordinator. He's predictable. He has no imagination. He doesn't get his best players the ball when they need it. You got Amari Cooper, one-on-one with predictable jumping routes, getting beat on double moves, Marcus Peters, and you don't throw the ball but 9 times? Amari Cooper got 9 targets. Are you serious? No, that's not good enough. Zeke Elliott got stuff. I get it. The O-line didn't show up. But that's all you got for Zeke? Line Zeke up and run some routes. Get the ball to your best players. Scott Linehan is a joke of an offensive coordinator. I can call plays better than him. I'm watching the game. On Amari Cooper's touchdown, my wife heard me from the back bedroom. I'm in the bed. I'm like, hey, they have a safety on Coop. They got a safety on Coop. Get the ball to Coop. That was not the first or last time they had a safety on Coop. When you see a safety on Amari Cooper, you look at Amari Cooper and you say, hey man, go get it. You don't have a safety on your top receiver and don't get him the ball. It makes no sense, man. The issue that I had with the game, man, is the Rams were the better team. I get that part. But I thought the Cowboys had a shot to win. And the Cowboys lost because the defense could not stop the Rams on 2 big plays. 4th and goal on the 1. They didn't stop them. 3rd and 7. They let Jared Goff, of all people, run around for 7 yards. That's not Dak Prescott's fault. Dak Prescott gets that ball back. He drives down and ties the game. I promise you he does. But we'll never know. But that's not Dak Prescott's fault. But my overall assessment of the Cowboys season, a success. You can't, check this out. The Cowboys went into the season, no Dez Bryant, your franchise leader in touchdown catches. Jason Witten, your all-world tight end that owns every receiving record in Cowboys history except touchdowns. You lose your all-world center, Travis Frederick. I play offensive line. You can lose a left tackle. You can lose your right tackle. You can lose a guard or 2. You lose your center. You lose the quarterback of your team, of your offensive line. You lose your center. You lose your centerpiece. Offensive line is like a chain. You lose that center part, it's not the same. So you lose Dez Bryant. You lose Jason Witten. You lose Travis Frederick. Every expert, every Hall of Famer, every analyst said the Cowboys would not even make the playoffs. So all that was going on before the Cowboys played a game. Then the Cowboys go from 3. Then the Cowboys start 3-5. 3-5. Then the Cowboys go out there and win 7 of their last 8 games. Make the playoffs. The Cowboys won a wild card game against a Seahawks team that everyone said they would lose to. So I don't get that. The Cowboys were supposed to lose to the Seahawks, but they were supposed to beat the Rams? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. That's not the case. The Dallas Cowboys overachieved this year. You have a quarterback that's being held back by horrible coaching. You have an offensive line that's a makeshift offensive line. You're missing your center. Your right guard's playing on one knee. Your left tackle has lost a step. Your left guard sucks. Your right tackle has his head up his ass half of the time. And Zeke Elliott still led the league in rushing behind that line. Behind that line. Anyone that watched the Cowboys offensive line play football this year, if you can tell me that that's the best O-line in football, you're crazy. They're barely top 5. And the reason why they're considered a top 5 line is because of how great Zeke Elliott is. When I see Todd Gurley run the football, he runs through holes. He runs through alleys. He has cutbacks. I watch Zeke run the football. He's ducking guys in the backfield just to get a yard, and he still led the league in rushing. That's not a failure of a season. But what I will say is this. The O-line is not the same. But I just think Tyron Smith and Zach Martin must play better. We get Frederick back. Maybe that'll change some things. Left guard Connor Williams, I'm sorry, man. I love the kid, but Connor Williams, you suck, bro. You suck. You are an embarrassment to every guy that's ever put his hand in the dirt. I'm embarrassed as a former guard watching Connor Williams. He sucks. Connor Williams gets pushed around like he's nothing. And I get it. That's Aaron Donald. I don't give a damn. I'm a grown man, Aaron Donald. You're not going to push me around, bro. No. Connor Williams was a bad draft pick. He was a horrible investment. The guy couldn't block a vegan from a meat shop. The guy sucks. All right? Xavier Su'a-Filo, let him be the left guard. At least I know he gonna fight. At least I know he gonna fight for it. Connor Williams got to go. Got to go, man. Now, I'm not going to jump the ship on my defense, man. The Cowboys defense played a bad game. They got ran all over by probably the league's best offensive line. They lost to a 13-win team. It happens. They were, after all that, getting ran through. The Cowboys gave up 273 yards on the ground, and they were still a possession away from tying the game. But the thing we need the most right now in this offseason, the priority is a tight end. My Cowboys need a tight end, man. I mean, in the worst way. I mean, like, I would trade everything for Kelsey right now. For real. The Cowboys need a tight end. Period. That's first and foremost. You got to give Dak Prescott a security blanket because I love Coop and I love Gallup. I think they're going to be a dynamic duo for years to come. But get a tight end. The Cowboys have always had a go-to tight end. Jay Novacek, Jason Witten. We've always had a tight end to go to. So you got to go and get a tight end. For blocking purposes, for receiving purposes, I don't know who the top tight end in the draft is going to be. Me personally, I would go and get Irv Smith from Alabama. I would love that because the guy will provide instant offense. He's a matchup nightmare. He can block. So I would love that pickup. Irv Smith should be the Cowboys tight end next year. Plain and simple. Now, as you all know, the offseason means new deals. I think you got to sign Zeke. The Rams paid Todd Gurley after 3 years. You got to pay Zeke after 3 years. Plain and simple. You trade a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, he got to get paid. DeMarcus Lawrence, I would love for him to be back, but I just think, man, I can't pay you big-time defensive end money, and all I get in return is 10 sacks. I'm sorry, that doesn't require all my money. Aaron Donald is a defensive tackle. He gets double and triple team every play. He still got you 20 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence, you're one-on-one with the other team's right tackle. And 10 sacks, I'm sorry, man. DeMarcus Lawrence is a hell of a player all around. But I'm sorry, man. If you want big-time defensive end money, you got to get me 15 sacks, bro. I'm sorry. You can't give me 10 sacks and want me to pay you a bunch of money. Don't work like that, man. Not cool. I'm not sold on Jason Garrett, but you know what? I don't blame Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is doing the same thing that we all do every day. Whatever our boss man tell us to. You can't blame Jason Garrett for sitting there clapping. So what? That's all he can do. What he finna do? Go out there and say, look, Jerry Jones, the offense is predictable. I need more to say so, man. Stop talking for me. You don't talk for me, man. He'll get fired. Jerry Jones fired Jimmy Johnson after back-to-back championships. He fired like Bill Parcells couldn't take it. Jerry Jones will run a coach off. You are not allowed to have your own mind with Jerry Jones. So you can't blame Jason Garrett for not disobeying his boss. I mean, for crying out loud, I don't blame Jason Garrett. Hey, I'm the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Oh yeah, I would love that job. So you can't blame Jason Garrett for doing his job. Jerry Jones runs the show. Everyone knows that. Everyone knew that before Jason Garrett even got the job. We all know that Jerry Jones runs everything. The only person in the Cowboys in the whole world that can even remotely get Jerry Jones to sit down and have a conversation logically is his son, Stephen Jones, and even he can't do it sometimes. Jerry Jones went to Johnny Manziel. Stephen Jones said, get Zach Martin. You know, so even Stephen Jones has to sometimes be the bad guy and say, look, Pops, come on, man. Come on, Pops. And even that don't work sometimes. But I tell you what, Jason Garrett is not the problem. The Cowboys' biggest problem can't be fixed. Jerry Jones will forever be a problem. But do I think the Cowboys can win? Yes. Despite Jerry Jones, yes. You can win without you can win despite Jerry Jones, because at the end of the day, I love how this Cowboys team is being built. The draft picks, man, Zeke, Dak, Byron Jones. We traded for Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence, Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith. Man, we have drafted well, very well. We have built a young, talented team with a bunch of stars under 25 years old, under 30. We don't have a single starter in their 30s. So the team, someone's doing something right. I don't know if it's Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones. Someone is drafting the right guys. I can't excuse Connor Williams, though, but hey, it happens. Every draft pick you get could be a bust. So I don't blame them for that. So someone's doing something right. But Jerry Jones ain't got nothing to do with his defense getting ran through like that. The Cowboys defense got ran through like a cheap-ass stripper. So guess what? That ain't Jerry Jones' fault. Jerry Jones didn't go out there and tell y'all to lay down for the Rams. That's not Jerry Jones' fault. So I can't blame Jerry for that. The only thing Jerry Jones is doing right now is not firing Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. That's my only issue. The team is great. And I don't even blame Jason Garrett. It's not his fault. Jason Garrett is not going to disrespect his boss. He's not. So crying out loud, let it go. Let it go, Cowboy fans. Look, I want Jason Garrett gone too, because I feel like the Cowboys need a new voice. In my perfect world, Chris Richard will be our head coach, and we'll go and get the best OC in the land. Or hell, fire Jason Garrett, go get Mike McCarthy. Make Chris Richard our DC full-time, and fire Rob Manelli. Like, honestly and truly, the Cowboys have a great young team, but they're being held back by predictable bad coaching. But that's what it is, man. Like I said, great players need coaching. Before we judge Dak Prescott, ask ourselves this: has Dak Prescott been put in the best position to win? Hell no. Great players need great coaching. Yes, Jerry Rice was great. Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver ever to walk the face of the earth. But Jerry Rice also had Bill Walsh in that West Coast offense. Think about it. Prime example, the guy he played Saturday night. That's rookie year. He's rookie of the year. Jared Goff is 0-8 and a bust. Todd Gurley is an 800-yard rusher. You get Sean McVay, one move, one coaching move. You bring in Sean McVay, Jared Goff is a Pro Bowler. Todd Gurley is an MVP candidate. Can you imagine that? And he took Jared Goff from 0-8, a certified bust, to a certified superstar. He took Todd Gurley from an 800-yard rusher to damn near the league's MVP. And that's what he had to work with to start with. So imagine an offensive coordinator coming in saying, damn, so with all that, Dak still won 2 divisions. He still got a playoff win. He still did that. Are you serious? A great offensive coordinator would work miracles with that. And it's not like Dak is horrible. Jared Goff went from bust to start. Imagine what Dak Prescott can go from middle of the pack game manager to MVP candidate. I'm calling it, man. The Cowboys need a new offensive coordinator. Someone that can maximize Dak's strengths. Everyone is so busy. Oh, Dak can't do this. Dak can't. Go get an OC that say, you know what? Dak can. He does this very well. He does that very well. Zeke does that very well. Amari Cooper does that very well. Get a offensive coordinator that can see the good in the team and say, you know what, guys? I'm going to change this right here, right now. But that's not going to happen because Scott Linehan is predictable and he has no imagination. The same damn plays. Zeke right, Zeke left, screen right, screen left, slant pass to Cooper, slant pass to Gallup. This, that, and the other. Quick screen. Quick out. Come on, man. Not gonna get it done. Not gonna get it done, man. All right. On to my favorite part of this show. You Cowboy haters out there, man, you know what? I just feel sorry for y'all, man. Because obviously the Cowboys, whatever we do, it's more important than your own team. Now here's something I'm getting very tired of hearing. People say the Cowboys fans are delusional. Well, delusional is a belief or altered reality that is persistently held despite evidence or agreements to the contrary. Okay, so delusional really means you think something that you're not. Okay, so let's see why we're delusional, Cowboy fans. Why are we delusional, y'all? Because we believe in our team? So you mean to tell me every last one of y'all, when y'all team go to training camp in August, the first thing on your mind is they're going to lose. They're going to be sorry this year. Wasting my time. So the Cowboy fans are loyal to the Cowboys. That's not delusional. That's a great fan. The Cowboys believe that the Cowboys fans believe that every year is the Cowboys' year. Don't all of y'all? I live in Jacksonville. You would think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a juggernaut if you live in Jacksonville. Because they're like, oh, this is the year, y'all. Super Bowl, we going Super Bowl this year, dog. Blake Boyd, we going Super Bowl this year, man. Ain't been not one time. No one cares, though. No one cares. People care more about the Cowboys losing than their own team winning. So, here are some lies y'all Cowboy haters tell. This is why y'all are delusional. People say the Cowboys ain't won a playoff game since 1995. That's a lie. The Cowboys have won 3 of their last 7 playoff games. 2 of those losses was a Dez Bryant catch game. The other one was Aaron Rodgers on a walk-off field goal. In both cases, the Cowboys could have won the game. But they didn't. But hey, the Cowboys have won 3 of their last 7 playoff games. So that's a lie. To say that it's like everyone is going around saying the Cowboys are in this playoff drought. What's a drought? No, we ain't won a Super Bowl at some time, but that we ain't the first team. Great franchises go through ups and downs. The almighty New York Yankees, they got 1 World Series this millennium. 1. The great Lakers didn't win a championship in the 90s. The Pittsburgh Steelers won a championship in 1979. They did not get back to the Super Bowl and win another one until 2005. But no one ever called them an accident waiting to happen or trash. No. Everyone just cares about the Cowboys and what they're doing. You love us or you hate us. But that's not our fault, man. But here's why the Cowboys are unfairly criticized. The Cowboys, like I said earlier, were picked to miss the playoffs. And the Cowboys go from 3-5, win the division, win a playoff game, lose a hard-fought, slug-it-out battle to a 13-win juggernaut. The Cowboys were a stop away from getting the ball back with a chance to tie the game. Now, let me tell you why it's not fair. Because the LA Chargers, that team, they were a preseason pick to win the AFC and win the Super Bowl. They went out there to New England and got their ass kicked. They're younger, faster, more talented, and they got their ass drugged by an old, slow-ass New England Patriots team. No one cares. But the Cowboys go to LA and lose by 1%. You go to LA, you give up nearly 300 yards rushing. Everything goes bad. Zeke has had a horrible game. The Rams have 200-yard rushers. The Cowboys have nothing going for themselves, and they are a stop away from getting the ball into Dak Prescott's hand to drive down the field and do what he does best. But we're trash, and the LA Chargers are what? Oh, no one cares because we're America's team, and they're the Chargers. As a matter of fact, I would tell y'all currently the teams that ain't won a playoff game in some time. The Bengals, it's been 20 plus years, no playoff wins, no one cares. The Dolphins, 18 years, no playoff wins, no one cares. The Buccaneers, 16 years, no playoff wins, no one cares. 31 teams fail to win the championship every year. But for some reason, it's only the Cowboys that get talked about not winning. That's trash, man. All right? That's trash. And to be honest with you, if y'all really know football, how many legit championship teams have the Cowboys had since 1995? Legit championship caliber teams. I count 3. And they were all before Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. This Cowboys team ain't got nothing to do with those Cowboys teams. Those Cowboys teams was Romo and Witten and Dez and T.O. and all them and all that stuff like that. There were 3 legit Cowboy teams that I felt like had a legitimate shot to win a championship. 2007, I would say 2008, they actually missed the playoffs that year, but that team was loaded. And I would say 2014, because I feel like that team could have won. That was probably Romo's last best shot to win it. But 2016 was an overachievement. It was Dak and Zeke's rookie year. You know, last year missed the playoffs. Zeke missed 6 games with suspension. This year, 3-5, made the playoffs still. So this is a very young team. This Cowboys team story ain't written yet. Romo, Dez, Witten, DeMarco Murray, DeMarcus Ware, Brady James, Pat-Man Jones, Terrence Newman, all those Cowboys, their story is written and done. They had their shot to win, they didn't win. This Cowboys team story is still being written. So just sit back and enjoy the show. But I know y'all will, because we're America's team. We have the most viewed games on TV. We're always being talked about with the league. And James Harden scored 57 points last night, and the leading topic on Undisputed was the Cowboys and the Rams game from Saturday. Today on a Tuesday, you have the Saints and the Rams in the Superdome. And the leading topic on your show is something someone else said about the Cowboys. That's why we're America's team. You Cowboy haters make us America's team because you can't keep us out your mouth. You don't even care if your own team win, just as long as we lose. That's why we're America's team, because whether you tune in to watch us lose or watch us win, you're tuned in, you're paying, and we're collecting. Go Cowboys. Anyways, my man Kyler Murray, well, not my man Kyler Murray, you know, but Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray has decided to put his name in the NFL draft after being selected 7th overall by the Oakland A's and given a $4 million signing bonus. Now, everyone knows that in baseball, you get drafted, but you go to the minor league. So I understand that Kyler Murray doesn't want to go from Heisman Trophy winner to ride some school bus all over the country. Like, you know, that can be humbling. It can be a very humbling experience for you. So, you know, I understand Kyler Murray's, you know, decision. You know, he want to get paid right now. In the NFL, you're going to make about $20-30 million in your first 7 years. In baseball, it's going to be about 7-8 years before you get that big contract. In the NFL, you come in, you ball out, 3 years, get a big, brand new fat contract. You ball out some more, in that 7th, 8th year, they re-up you again. In baseball, you're literally like 30 years old before you get paid. Bryce Harper and Manny Machado are the two best players in baseball, not named Mike Trout or the Red Sox. You know? Michael Ward, what's going on, my man? Michael Ward, one of the freshest dressing guys I ever seen in my life, man. I mean, I call the man blue cheek because he be dressing, man. You know, but how about them Cowboys, he said. Well, Michael Ward, we lost to a better team, bro. Like, I got no excuses. You missed my whole point about the whole thing. We lost to a better team, bro. You know, no shame in that. The Rams are a juggernaut, a 13-win juggernaut. You know, so I have no, you know, whatever. You know, we got beat down. They ran the ball down our throat, man. The offense got nothing going like that. You know, it was a hard-fought game, man. I love my Cowboys. I'm down with my team, man. Cowboys till I die, baby. It is what it is. But how about your Jaguars? Yeah, he logged out. Peace out. But yeah, man, Kyler Murray, I understand his decision, you know, because you want to get the money. And he loves football. You know, baseball is a hard sport. Baseball is my first love, man. Anyone knows me know that was my first sport I ever played. That was my first love. But once I got older and I realized that they throw the ball real hard and real fast and real quickly and all kind of, I'm like, you know what? That baseball is too fast, too low, too high. I can't swing at it. I'm out. Football, here I come. So I understand Kyler Murray's decision. He feels like in football, he will be given a shot to play. And hey, this is a very, very weak quarterback draft because next year is Tua in the crew. And after that is Trevor Lawrence in the crew. So you have this QB draft outside of Will Grier. I mean, I would take Murray over Will Grier anyway. So I don't blame Kyler Murray. You got to capitalize on your stock. You're saying, hey, I want to have a trophy. I almost came back and beat Alabama if I had a healthy Hollywood Brown. I don't believe that, but he does. So, you know, Kyler Murray feels like, look, I love football. I want to be a star. I don't want to ride no bus and be a nobody. Or is Kyler Murray trying to get more money? Is he threatening to go to the NFL so that A's would say, you know what, kid, we'll give you $10 million and you would do a small stint in the minors and we'll bring you, you know what I'm saying? So maybe Kyler Murray is trying to get some more money, you know? Maybe. Excuse me, yo. But me personally, what I would do, I understand, you know, football is, you want the money right now, but hey, you could also lose your career right now in football. Baseball, you have a longer future. You make more money. There's no salary cap issue. So short-term NFL, I get that. But long-term, maybe Kyler Murray plays football for 7-8 years, then goes to play baseball. Maybe he'll pull a prime time or Bo Jackson. But either way, I think Kyler Murray has all the leverage because he's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to be a first-round pick. So, you know, we'll see. So we'll see if he wants that guaranteed $20 million or he wants to pay his dues and get that guaranteed $100 million when he turns 30. Either way, I'm down for you, dog. So get that money, Kyler Murray. Do what you gotta do, baby. All right. The most dreadful part of my podcast today. You know, it's almost like a nightmare. You know, you ever have something in your life happen in real life and you just swear to God you dreaming. So you try to just sit there and close your eyes. Oh my God. You wake up, oh my God, it's real. That's how I felt watching Clemson just wipe the flow with my Crimson Tide, man. Lord Jesus. I mean, the game got out of hand to the point where I just watched the game as a former player and just said, what the hell is going on here? I took my fan hat off and put my 1K hat on. I said, what the hell is going on here? We got outcoached. We got outplayed. That game, it was a blowout. We lost by 28 points. I get that, man. You know, it happens. Sometimes you can be the bully on the block for so long until you finally lose. You know, sometimes it happens, you know, and I think Bama, they have become a victim of their own success. Now, as far as the title game was concerned, like I said, we got outcoached and outplayed. But here, let me break this down to y'all. How do you outgain a team and hold the ball for 10 minutes longer and lose by 28? That means that the Alabama Crimson Tide was driving down the field, and got nothing done. Nothing done at all. Shut out in the second half. But they were driving. It's like every turnover or every stop drive was in the red zone. Then you got Tua. Y'all know I love Tua. I love the man to death. I love Tua. And I still do. He's our guy. I don't care what no one says. He gave them 14 points. You don't, in a game like that, you don't give a team like Clemson 14 points. You just don't do that. You don't give them 14 points. They can get 40 by themselves. You don't give them 14. So you don't do that. So Tua threw a pick six. He threw another interception that was returned back in our deep in our territory. So you might as well say it was a touchdown waiting to happen. But all in all, man, I think Clemson was a great team this year, a real juggernaut. Would I crown them the best team ever? No. I can't do that, man. I mean, I understand they're the first team to go 15-0. That was amazing. But they had a weak schedule. I mean, by the time they played Alabama, they was pretty much rested, untested, and just ready to roll. Alabama is battle-tested and beat down, had to get there on the hard way, and, you know, we got beat down. And I make no excuses, man. They were the better team. Clemson was the better team. But do I think Clemson is now the new king of college football? Hell no. No way. Clemson, all they did by beating us down that night, all they did was tie Alabama. Over the last 4 years, Clemson has 55 wins and 2 national championships. Bama has 55 wins and 2 national championships. So all I see is, hey, Clemson, you won 2 championships in 3 years. Good. Bama's done that twice. You know? So I'm not going to give Clemson the crown just yet. Hell no. You got to earn that. You not only got to catch up to Alabama, you got to surpass them. And you got what? 2 championships? You need 3 more. Win back-to-back. Do something else. But as of right now, I'm not going to crown Clemson as the king of college football. Now, I am very sorry for that McDonald's and Wendy's that Trump gave Clemson. Man, that was low down. That was classless. I mean, you have the national football champions of college football come to see you at the White House, and you give them McDonald's and Wendy's and all that other BS, man. You have the national champions in your White House. You couldn't call Carrabba's. You couldn't call Outback. You couldn't call Longhorn. You couldn't call some fancy. You're the president of the United States, and you can't get, hell, you couldn't call Red Lobster. You couldn't call some fancy restaurant in D.C. and have them cater to you for free. I mean, you're the damn president, man. You couldn't get Ruth Chris to come cater to y'all? Come on, man. That was weak. And I'm a Bama fan, dog, and I hate Clemson. But come on, man. Those guys won a national championship. Some of those kids will never see the White House ever again. And for Donald Trump to give those kids McDonald's, come on, man. That's rude. That's just very classless, man. So enough with that. But then again, I'm a Bama fan, so I don't care. You know. But I feel like the thing about Bama and Clemson is this. Clemson is a family. You know, Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, Colin Farrell, Austin Bryant, all 4 of those guys were first-round picks last year. They all came back. Bama players don't come back. They play 3 years and they gone. Now, Damian Harris came back because he loves the program. That's a one-off. You probably will never see a Bama player who gives a first-round grade come back for year 4. They will not do that. So, and Bama has become more of a factory. Prime example, Clemson has played Alabama 4 straight times. All 4 times, Clemson had the same OC and DC. They had the same offensive coordinator, and they had the same defensive coordinator, Brent Venables, who had a great game playing for Tua. Big ups to him. All 4 times, Bama has had a different OC, and they had 3 different defensive coordinators. That's a factory. Nick Saban is not just losing first-round draft picks every year. He's losing coaches every year. Every year, Nick Saban has to reload, but replace. And after a while, it's only so many times you can replace talent. I get it. You bring in a kid, he's a 5-star athlete. But a 5-star DB out of high school, not everyone is Minka Fitzpatrick. That kid was special. You don't replace Minka Fitzpatrick in one season. It takes a year or 2 to replace that kind of production, that kind of experience. Ronnie Harrison, 2-year starter, gone. All 6 Alabama DBs are gone. And the coach, the offensive coordinator from last year's championship team, is the head coach at Tennessee. So Nick Saban is replacing first-round draft picks and coaches every year. And this year, it caught to him because Clemson's OC and DC coach circles around Bama's 2 coordinators, man. Brent Venables took Kevin Loxley to school. Kevin Loxley is leaving. So Nick Saban has to replace another OC. And the Miami Hurricanes just hired our quarterback coach as their OC. He got to get a new OC and a new QB coach. And he just got them. So eventually your success catches up with you, but it only makes Bama that much great. Clemson, what they're doing is great, man. But they're not doing nothing that has impressed me yet to that point where I can say they're the new kings. Because I want to see Dabo Swinney win a championship with a whole new squad. He's won 2 with pretty much the same nucleus. Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams, Christian Wilkins, Colin Farrell, Austin Bryant, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, the same little recruiting cycle. What makes Nick Saban great? He won with Julio Jones. He won with Amari Cooper. He won with Calvin Ridley. He won with Calvin Ridley twice, actually. He won with Mark Ingram. He won with Trent Richardson. He won with Lacey and Yeldon. He won with Henry. He won with Harris. He's won with a cycle of guys. He's won with Mark Barron and Dre Kirkpatrick. He's won with Landon Collins and D. Milner. He's won with Ronnie Harrison and Minka Fitzpatrick. He has won with Mount Cody and Josh Chapman and Deron Payne and Quentin Williams. Nick Saban wins despite who's there. This particular year, he got caught up. This year, Nick Saban got caught in his own success. But anyways, like I said, Bama is here to stay. Like Tom Rinaldi said, players graduate, coaches leave, adversaries strengthen, enemies plot, the roster changes, the years pass, the enemies plot, but the tide just keeps on rolling. Now, y'all, I ain't got much time here. I got me a date with 3 Red Bones, but I will address this before I leave. There was a trend on Twitter that said, fire Saban. Me personally, I thought it was a joke. I thought like, oh man, someone's real funny, right? But it was real. Alabama fans really want Nick Saban fired. Why? Because he failed to walk on water? Because Nick Saban failed to win national championship number 6 in 10 years? You should fire him? Let me tell you, spoiled, entitled Alabama fans, something. You will never find Nick Saban again. You lost Paul Bear Bryant. Gene Stallings came in and did his thing. But you will never find a Nick Saban anywhere ever again. Let me tell y'all something about Nick Saban, you spoiled Bama fans. The guy has more national championships than home losses. That means Nick Saban is more likely to win a national championship game than he is to lose a game inside Alabama. He has the most wins all time over AP top 5 teams, not top 15, top 25, top 5 teams. The most wins ever. He has turned Alabama into a NFL shopping cart. 4, 5, 6 players every year are getting drafted in the first round. Think about that. You lose Deron Payne, a 3-year starter, an All-American, a 2-time national champion. His replacement, Deron Payne's replacement, won the Outland Trophy and will probably be the first pick in the draft. Deron Payne's replacement may go number 1 overall in the draft. That's Nick Saban. That's recruiting. Bama fans, y'all spoiled rotten. Jesus Christ. Coaches leave. Players leave. Everything changes. Georgia is a powerhouse now. Everyone is building up. People are taking his assistant coaches away from him, and he still wins. Oh, but he got blown up at Clemson. Oh, that's a no-go. We know Bama fans. How about this? A rumor was going around that Nick Saban had dinner with the AD from Texas. Rumor has it Nick Saban spent some time in California, in LA, with Lance Swan. Now, who's Lance Swan? Hall of Fame receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was the athletic director for the USC Trojans. So, Bama fans, be very careful, because remember, 2013, the kick 6, fire Nick Saban, and then the report came out that some mysterious guy was going around, riding around, trying to find a very big house in Texas. Oh, that guy was Nick Saban's assistant. So, Bama fans, Nick Saban loves Alabama. He loves Roll Tide. But do not get it twisted. He is the same guy that got on national TV and said, I'm not going to Alabama. He denied y'all on national TV. And then the next day took the job. So he's loyal to his own cause. He's not one of y'all. He's not Roll Tide. He's not what Bear Bryant was. He wants to win. So go ahead, Bama fans. Go ahead and be entitled. Go ahead and be spoiled. But understand this, man. Good luck finding the next Nick Saban. Good luck with that. Because everyone's waiting on Dabo Swinney. Let me tell y'all something, man. That guy, Dabo Swinney, is building a factory over there in Clemson. It's going to take about $13 million to get him from over there. Trust me. They're not going to fire him. So you might as well offer him a big-time contract to get him away from there, and that might not work. So appreciate what you have, Bama fans. Appreciate Nick Saban. Appreciate greatness, because it could be gone. Nick Saban is still young enough to coach. He says he wants to coach a few more years. So could you imagine, Bama fans, if y'all spoiled asses run him out of town, and he goes to Texas and rebuilds that damn powerhouse, or goes to USC and restores that pride? Pipe down, Bama fans. Next year, we'll reload. We'll be back to the national championship. We'll probably win it. All right? So let it go. The whole fire Saban, you're ignorant. All right? You're spoiled and entitled. Okay? I appreciate Nick Saban. If he didn't coach that game last Monday night, guess what? He would still be the GOAT. At this point, all he's doing is stacking checks and championships, man. He has nothing else to prove. So, Bama fans, be careful what you say. Be careful. Like I said, y'all, I got a date with 3 Red Bones at Boiling Crawfish. I love y'all so much, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Cowboys for life. Roll Tide forever, baby. Peace out. 1K Sports, man. Uncut, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic. Be easy.